Here we go. So, section 13.3. 4 questions. We got time. Good. There are 50 students, 30 female, 20 male, in Math 101 class, Tasmania State University. Professor chooses 10 students from the class as follows. 5 students are randomly chosen from the females, 5 from the males. Question 8. Does every student in the class have equal likelihood of being selected for the sample? And you can see my answer there is no. Do you understand why that is? No, there is a higher chance of selecting a male student than a female student. What am I talking about there? So there's 30 females and there's 20 males, right? 50 total. And they're going to pick 10 from this group and 10 from that group to be on whatever their sample is there. 10 from each group. 10 females, 10 males. So do you see why the females, it's a higher chance for the males? You see why? Because half of all the males are going to get picked, right? 10 out of 20. This fraction, 10 out of 20 is a half. A half of all the males are going to be picked, whereas 10 out of 30, only 1/3. So if you're a female, you only have a 1/3 chance of being picked. And if you're a male, you have a half chance of being picked, more likely. So that's not equally likely, is it? B, does every set of 10 students in the class have an equal likelihood of being selected? So you might think, wait, isn't that what they just asked? Well, now it's saying 10 students, not 1 student. But again, the answer is no. For example, 10 females has no chance of being selected. For example, a group of 10 females has no chance of being selected. However, a particular group of 5 females and 5 males does have a chance of being selected. Is he picking 10 or 5? Oh, 5 from each group, huh? I got confused. He's picking 5, but anyway, it's still the same. He's picking 5, so it's only 5. So you have a 1/6 chance if you're female, and 5/20, so that'd be 1/4 chance. But anyway, it's still the same result. He's only picking 10 total, 5 females, 5 males. Anyway, so question B, the answer is still no, because every group of 10 people doesn't have the same chance of being picked. For example, if there's 10 female friends and they're all hoping, I hope it's us 10, well, there's no way. There's no way, because he's only going to pick 5 females, 5 males. It's not going to be those 10. But if there's 5 females and 5 males that are all friends, they have a chance of being picked because he's going to pick 5 and 5, right? So not every group of 10 has the same likelihood. So that's not truly random, is the point of that. That way of picking is not truly random, is it? It doesn't break things up evenly. All right. Okay. So now do you remember the words sample statistic, population parameter? What are those words? What do they mean?
Everybody.
Yeah, which one means everybody?
Parameter.
Yeah, the parameter, the population, is everybody. Exactly. Whenever we talk about a parameter, population from the parameter from the population, it means everybody. So that would be like the true average age at Fresno City College. Whereas a statistic is only from a small sample group, isn't it? It's not from everybody. It's not from everybody. So, in this 3,937 seniors, 50% own a vehicle. Is that a sample or a population? Well, that's population because that's all the seniors. That wasn't just some of the seniors. That wasn't just the seniors that are taking English their last year or the seniors that are whatever. You know, it's all the seniors. So it's the whole population. So that's a parameter. That 50% is not a statistic. It's a parameter in that case. This chapter is all words. All right, choose the most appropriate concept for the statement from the following list. Association is not causation, sampling variability, selection bias, placebo effect. All right, one pollster waited outside her local town hall and asked people walking by which party they had voted for. She was surprised to see the Democrat win when her results showed a landslide Republican win. What made that? Why did she get such bad results? What could cause that to happen? Well, you've got the answer there, selection bias. Why can't, let's go through these one at a time. Why can't it be placebo? Well, that's just totally the wrong term, right? That's for a clinical study with medicine and surgery. That's not asking people who they voted for. So it's not that one, right? Sampling variability. What does that mean, sampling variability? Are you familiar with that term?
Random sample.
Yeah, just the fact that samples vary. So could she say, hey, you know, I just asked a bunch of people and I thought the Republicans were going to win, but I was wrong, it's Democrats. Could that just be the fact that just luck, basically? Just she has randomly happened to be lucky? Well, it could, but it's not likely. If you ask a lot of people, luck is going to be kind of ruled out. It's probably selection bias. In other words, she was picking who she wanted to talk to. Well, she, for whatever reason, was drawn to talk to people that voted Republican. That's the problem with pollsters. That's one of the big problems with polls done faithfully. Like attracts like. People are drawn to people like them, people that think like they think, and so they tend to get false results when they survey if we don't take the human element out. Selection bias comes into the mix. So that's what's happening there. Association is not causation. I'll talk about that in a minute. So I want to make sure we cover the homework before I talk about that. We good on that one? So always remember, selection bias is a problem when humans are allowed to pick by their own free will who they talk to for polls. That's not a wise way to poll. Selection bias comes into play. Homework. Okay, so our last homework one though. The way the questions in mini surveys are phrased can itself be a source of bias. When a question is worded in such a way as to predispose the respondent to provide a particular response, results of the survey are tainted by a special type of bias called leading question bias. So leading question bias. All right, so here's the survey. You ready? The survey says, do you oppose the present state flag? This is kind of modern. This is almost, even though this problem is like 10 years old. We've been having these issues recently, right? The statues and things. Do you oppose the present state flag that contains the Confederate symbol, a symbol of past slavery in the South, and a flag supported by extremist groups? Well, yeah, I love it. I mean, really? Right? You see the way that question's coming at? It's just like, you're not a stupid loser head that supports this, are you? Well, no, not me, right? They're not asking that question neutrally, are they? And they're not going to get to the truth about what people really feel if they ask it that way. If they want the truth, that ain't going to get the truth, is it? If they just want it to say what they want it to say, then okay, ask it that way. This is leading question bias because it provides strong negative information. What's a better way? Do you favor or oppose the current state flag with the Confederate symbol? Just neutral, right? Just neutral. I mean, we laugh, but today, real life, people supposedly do these surveys all the time, and this happens. Okay. So our last 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Oh, that.
5 minutes.
I'm always, it's moving now, so I believed it for a second. Well, for all period. We got 3 minutes. All right. I'm glad we finished the homework. With these last 3 minutes, then, I'll have to talk more about test questions next time. But these last 3 minutes, let me ask this. Here, did you know, guys, that if you take, do you guys had milk? You guys drink milk regularly? If you take people that have had milk at least once in their lifetime. Okay? Have you had milk at least once? That says once. One time. At least one time. Even if you're lactose intolerant, you probably had milk once. That's how you know you're lactose intolerant, right? If you take all the people in that group, and then you put them in another group, people who never had milk, even one time in their life. So there's group number one, group number two. There are, and so if you break those up, did you know this group dies of cancer much more frequently? That's true. I'm not saying false things. That is the truth. The group that has had milk at least once, even if you don't regularly drink it, but if you've had it at least once in your lifetime, versus people that have never had it, never touched the stuff, never had it even once in their life. This group over here, the milk drinkers, at least those that have had it at least once, die of cancer much more, way more frequently. That's true. So what does that mean is the question. That's a true fact. That's a true fact. Now, obviously, we need to clear the shelves of the milk, right? We're not doing that, and I happily drink milk regularly. And yet I know this is still true also. This is a true fact. So why doesn't it mean milk causes cancer?
Well, because those people are lactose intolerant.
What's that?
What can be a majority of those people that only drink one time are lactose intolerant, like they said?
So you mean these people are lactose intolerant? But what? Oh, the other group? But they never even had it once. So they don't know if they're lactose intolerant or not, right? They never even had it once? I mean, maybe they are. Maybe they're lactose intolerant, but they never even had it once, so I don't think they would know, probably.
Wait, so what is the question?
The question is, why doesn't this mean milk causes cancer? How can this be true and we're still drinking milk? This is true. I'm not making this up. People that have had milk at least once in their lifetime, if you took all those people in the world and you say what percentage died of cancer, it's way higher than this group. You take all the people in the world that never had milk even once in their life, this group almost never dies of cancer.
Maybe because there's...
It's a small group? This is a small group. Yeah, good point. Who are people that have never had milk once in their life? Probably all of you have had milk at least once in your life, right?
Maybe because that one, later on in life, one person didn't die of cancer?
Maybe different areas of the world.
Control.
Areas of the world?
People who know they're lactose intolerant from their family.
But why are these, if it's lactose intolerant or not, why are these dying of cancer though? Lactose intolerant doesn't make you die of cancer.
That's the entire population.
Is that, no, there's some people that have never had milk.
Oh, wait, no,
I'll let you think on that one.